Hello viewers, this is Wagda Ronald taking you through the tutorial for O-level mathematics for senior 3, and this video we're going to look at the topic of Ogive for grouped data. So this topic is basically for students in senior 3 and senior 4. So in this video we're going to look at the solutions for the assignment left in the previous video. So question 1 was that, and question 2 was that from 1997 paper 2, question 22. So what you're going to do, we shall start with question 1, which came from UNEB 1995 paper 2, question 11, and it says the figure below shows the marks in percentage obtained by candidates in an English test. So these are the marks. Then Roman 1 says that starting with 30 as the lower class mark limit of the first class and using equal class interval of 5 marks, form a frequency distribution table for this data. So let's start with Roman 1. Now these are the very values. So we shall come here and draw our table where we shall feed in our values. So they told us that we are starting with 30 and use a class interval of 5. So that, what does that mean? It means that, for example, to come from here to here, so 5 minus 1 is 4, so 30 plus 4 will give you 34. Then 34 plus 1 is that. Then 35 plus 4 will give you 39. 39 plus 1 is this. Then 40 plus 4 will give you that. So that is the trend we shall follow to come up with all these values up to the end. Now that I've generated our class, we shall go to now tallies. So tallies, we shall first look for all the values ranging from 30 to 34. So when I highlight them, you realize that it's only one person who got that, a mark will be from 30 to 34. So we shall come here and put a tally corresponding to 1, which is that. So next we shall look for the marks from 35 to 39. So when I first remove this and I look for these ones from 35 to 39, you realize they are 2. So I'll come here and put tally corresponding to 2. The next will be 40 to 44. So I'll come back here and look for, first remove this, then highlight the ones for 40 to 44. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll come here and push a tally corresponding to 4. Next will be 45 to 49. So I'll come, first remove this, then highlight this. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll come here and put a tally corresponding to 5. So next will be from 50 to 54. So I'll come here, first remove that, and then highlight the ones from 50 to 54. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll come here and put a tally corresponding to 7. Next will be from 55 to 59. So I'll come here and first remove that, then highlight the ones from 55 to 59, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 8. Next will be from 60 to 64. So I'll first remove these ones and then highlight the ones from 60 to 64. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll come here and put tally corresponding to 5. Next will be 65 to 69. So it is only 1. So I'll come here and put a tally corresponding to 1. Next will be 70 to 74. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll come and put a tally corresponding to 5. Next will be 75 to 79. So it is only 1, so we shall come here and put a tally corresponding to 1. Then lastly is from 80 to 84. So it is only 1, so I'll come and put a tally corresponding to 1. So that has been our tallies. Next we shall now generate our column of frequencies. So the column of frequency will be got from these tallies. So the first one is 1, so we shall put here only 1. So these are 2, we shall put here 2. Then these are 4 tallies, we shall put 4. 5 tallies, we shall put 5. 7, we shall put here 7. 8 tallies, we shall put 8. 5 tallies, we shall put 5. 1 tally, we shall put 1. 5 tallies, we shall put 5. 1 tally, we shall put 1. And here 1 tally, we shall put 1. So that is how they generate the column for frequency. Now next we shall have to add all these values of frequency. So when I add all those values, I'll come up with 40. So that's how they generate the value column of frequency, and this is how they get this total. You have to add all these values. So next will be values of x, which is the mid-mark or class mark. So remember, class mark is got by adding the 2 class limits and divide by 2. So 30 plus 34 divided by 2, you'll come up with this. Then 35 plus 39 divided by 2, you'll come up with 37. 40 plus 44 divided by 2, you'll come up with 42. So next will be 47, next will be 52, next will be 57, next will be 62, next will be 67, and next will be 72, next will be 77, and lastly this will be 82. So now that we have generated the values of x, we can now get the values of d, which is the deviation. Remember, they gave us a working mean of 57, so d will be equal to the value of x minus 57. So 32 minus 57, you'll come up with negative 25. Then 37 minus 57, you'll come up with negative 20. This minus 57, you'll come up with negative 15. This minus 57, you come up with negative 10. This will give you negative 5, and this will give you 0. This will give you 5. This will give you 10, this will give you 15, this will give you 20, and this will give you 25. So now that we've generated the values of d and we know the values of f, we can now generate the column for fd, where I have to multiply values of f with corresponding values of d. So 1 multiplied by negative 25, you'll come up with negative 25. 2 by negative 20, you'll come up with negative 40. 4 by negative 15, you'll come up with negative 60. This will give you negative 50. This will give you negative 35. This will give you 0. This will give you positive 25. This will give you positive 10. This will give you positive 75. This will give you positive 20. And this will give you positive 25. So when I add all these, so that's how they generate the values of fd. The next will now be to add all these values of fd. So when I add all of them, I'll come up with negative 55. So next will be now the generating the column for cumulative frequency. Remember, cumulative frequency is got from the column of frequency. That we shall start with this very value 1, so and put it here. So that one will be put here. Then after that we shall say 1 plus 2 to come up with 3. Then 3 plus 4 to come up with 7. 7 plus 5 to come up with 12. 12 plus 7 to come up with 19. 19 plus 8 to come up with 27. 27 plus 5 to come up with 32. 32 plus 1 to come up with 33. 33 plus 5 to come up with 38. 38 plus 1 to come up with 39, and lastly 39 plus 1 to come up with 40. So I think we realize that this last value must be equal to the total frequency. Then the last column will be for class boundaries. So class boundaries will look at these two values. So the difference between the two, 35 minus 34, is 1. Now 1 divided by 2, you'll come up with 0.5. What does that mean? It means that to get the lower class boundaries, you'll come and subtract 0.5 from the lower class limits. So when I subtract 0.5 from these values, I'll come up with the lower class boundaries. And on the other hand, when I add 0.5 to the upper class limits, I'll come up with the upper class boundaries. So when I do that, I'll come up with this. For example, 30 minus 0.5 will give me 29.5. Then 34 plus 0.5 will give me 34.5. So when I do that for the next class, I'll come up with that. Next class will be that, and this will give me that. For this, it will become this. For this, it will give me that, and this will give me that, and this will give me that. This will give me that, and this will give me that. Lastly, this will give me that. So basically, we have now completed our table, and with that table, we have answered two Romans. We have answered Roman 1, where they only wanted the frequency distribution table. So the frequency distribution table are these first three columns. This, and this gives you the. So these first three columns will give you the frequency distribution table. Then when you go to Roman 2, they said plot a cumulative frequency curve for the data and use it to estimate the median. So now we shall go to Roman 2. So we've added these other columns, reason being, so these two columns are to help you to get the cumulative frequency curve, and these three columns of X, D, and FD are to help you get the mean, given the working mean of 57. So that is why you have added. Otherwise, the Roman 1 only wanted the first three columns. So before we go to the next slide, let's see how marks can be awarded for this slide. So B1 will be for these two, both the class and the class boundaries, column of class and class boundaries. You'll be able to get your B1. Then tallies and frequencies, so this and this, you'll be able to get your another B1. Then X and D, so this and this, you'll be able to get this other B1. And F, these values of FD together with the total, that is also another B1. And lastly, this, the column, these values of CF will be another B1. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks were for this slide. So now we shall go to Roman 2. Roman 2, they wanted you to plot the cumulative frequency curve for the data and use it to estimate the median mark. So the first thing to do is to get a graph paper. So that is our graph paper. Then when you have a graph paper, you have to draw the axes. So for the axis, I think we realize that I'm leaving 1 centimeter on the below and draw the horizontal axis, then leave 1 centimeter here and draw the vertical axis. After that, I'll have to demarcate and label my axes. So for the horizontal axis, these are the values. So we put here the values of the class boundaries. But here you have to remember to put the word upper class boundaries, because that's what we are going to plot. Then we shall also do the same for the vertical. We shall demarcate and also put their values with the correct, with equal scale, uniform scale. So you have to label it cumulative frequency. So next to now be to plot. Plotting, we have to plot upper class boundary with corresponding cumulative frequency. For example, if you come here, we are going to plot this value will be plotted with this, and this will be plotted with this, and this will be plotted with this, and so on. So we are going to start with 1 for so 34.5 will correspond with 1, 39.5 will correspond to 3. So let's first plot those two values, 1 and 3. So you come here and plot for 34.5, we shall plot 1, and for 39.5 we shall plot 3, which is there. The next value, 44.5, will correspond to 7, and 49.5 will correspond to 12. So we shall come here, then 44.5 will correspond to that, and also 49.5 will correspond to that, 12. So next is 54.5 corresponding to 19, and 59.5 corresponding to 27. So 54.5 will correspond to that, and 59.5 will correspond to 27. Then next is 64.5 corresponding to 32, and 69.5 corresponding to 33. So you come here and put 32 and also 33. The next is 74.5 corresponding to 38, 79.5 corresponds to 39, 84.5 corresponds to 40. So we have 38, 39 and 40. So you come here and put 38, 39 and lastly 40. So next is to draw a smooth curve through all these points, but you have to start from the origin. So let's do that. It has to be smooth, as you can see it. So that is our cumulative frequency curve, but they also told us to use it to estimate the median. So for you to estimate the median, you have to first get the median position. So I'll come and say median position is given by the formula capital N over 2, where capital N is total frequency. So remember, total frequency was 40. If you look at this, total frequency was 40 here, so that's what we shall use here. So 40 over 2 will give you 20th position. Now this is not the median, but it's the position. What does that mean? It means that you'll come here and look for this 20, then after that you'll take a horizontal line to meet the line to meet this curve. After that you drop perpendicular to meet the horizontal and read off that value. So when you do that, you shall draw a horizontal line to meet the curve, then draw a vertical line to meet the horizontal and read off that value. So that value is 55.5, and that will be your median. So shall come here and say that median mark is 55.5. So that was Roman 2. Now Roman 3 says calculate the mean mark using an assumed mean of 57%. So shall come here and say that mean mark given assumed mean is given by the formula A plus summation of FD over summation of F. Now when you go back to our table, summation of FD is negative 55, summation of F is 40, and we know that our capital A is 57 as given in the question. So you come and substitute. So where there is A, you put 57, where there is FD summation, you put negative 55, and summation of F will put 40. When I simplify that, I'll come up with my answer as 55.625. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded for this slide. So B1 will be for drawing the axis, so drawing this vertical axis and the horizontal axis well labeled and with a uniform scale, that is B1. Another B1 was for plotting all those points, and then another B1 for drawing a smooth curve, so this smooth curve, that is also B1. Then M1 was for attempting to find the median, so these dotted lines show that you attempted to find the median, so that is M1. Then A1 is for you to state the median mark, which is that here. M1 is for you to substitute in the formula for mean, and A1 is for you to get the mean which they wanted. So basically that's what they wanted in this question 1. Now shall go to question 2. Question 2 came from UNEB 1987 paper 2, question 22, and it says the data below shows the height in centimeters of pupils in a certain school. So these are the heights in centimeters. So part A says that form a frequency distribution table for the data having an equal class interval size starting with 80 to 89. Then Roman 2 they said convert the distribution in Roman 1 above to a cumulative distribution, and lastly draw an Ogive in brackets the cumulative frequency distribution and use it to find the median height. So we shall start with the Roman 1 where they told you to form a frequency distribution table. So you have to first come and draw our table from where we shall fill our values. So they told us to start with 80 to 89, so we shall put our classes. So from here to here it is +9, then +1, +9, +1, +9, +1, like that. So the trend continues until you reach the end. Now that we know the class, we can now go to our tallies. So just begin with values from 80 to 89. So I'll come and highlight the values from 80 to 89, and I realize they are only 2, so I'll go back and push tallies of 2. The next will be values from 90 to 99. So when I remove this and put this, I realize that there's only one value, so I'll come here and put a tally corresponding to 1. Next will be from 100 to 109. So I'll come here, remove this, highlight this. So I realize they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 11. The next will be 110 to 119. So I'll come here, remove this and put this. So I realize that only they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 15. The next will be values from 120 to 129. So I'll come here, remove this and put this. So I realize they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 13. The next will be values from 130 to 139. So I'll come here, remove these ones and put this. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 6. Next will be 142, 149. So I'll come here, remove this and put this. So I realize that it is only one value. So I'll come here and put tallies corresponding to 1. So now that we have finished our column of tallies, we can generate a column of frequency whereby and that is got from the column of tallies. So these are 2 tallies, so we shall write here 2. 1 tally we shall write 1. 11 tallies we shall write 11. 15 tallies we shall write 15. 13 tallies we shall write 13. 6 tallies we shall write 6. 1 tally we shall write 1. Now that we have to get the total of all these values and put it here, so this will become our total frequency. Then next we are going to the column of cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency is generated from frequency, so we shall start with this very value here, put it here to come up with 2. Then 2 plus 1 will give you 3. Then 3 plus 11 will give you 14. 14 plus 15 will give you 29. 29 plus 13 will give you 42. 42 plus 6 will give you 48. 48 plus 1 will give you 49. So I think you realize that this value at the end is the same as the total frequency. So lastly, we shall generate the values of class boundaries. So class boundaries, we have to first look at this class. So the difference divided by 2. So 90 minus 89 is 1. Divide by 2, you'll come up with 0.5. So what does that mean? It means that for you to get the lower class boundaries, you have to subtract 0.5 from the lower class limits, and similarly, and on the other hand, for you to get the upper class boundaries, you have to add 0.5 to the upper class limits. So when you do that, this is what you shall come up with. So for example, for the first class, 80 minus 0.5, you'll get 79.5, and 89 plus 0.5, you'll get 89.5. So when you do that for the next class, you shall come up with this. Then for this class, you shall come up with that. For this, we shall come up with that. For this, we shall come up with that. And for this, we shall come up with that. Lastly, this will come up with that. So by now, we have now finished to tabulate our values, which will help us answer the questions. So Roman 1, they told us you to form a frequency distribution table for the data having equal interval size starting with 80 to 89. So frequency distribution are these first 3 columns. So from here up to here is what we call a frequency distribution. Then when we go to Roman 2, they said convert the distribution in Roman 1 above to a cumulative distribution. That means that you have to add on the column of cumulative frequency that will be converted into a cumulative distribution. Then when you go to Roman 3, they said draw an Ogive, the cumulative distribution, and use it to find the median height. So because they told you to draw an Ogive, you'll have to come and add a column of class boundaries, because Ogive is the plotting of cumulative frequency against upper class boundaries. So we have finished Roman 1 and Roman 2. Now let's go to Roman 3. So for Roman 3, for you to draw an Ogive, you need a graph paper. So we shall come and get our graph paper. Then next we have to draw the axes and label them. So the horizontal axis will be labeled with the values of class boundaries, but when you are labeling, you put upper class boundary for you to remember that you are going to plot frequency against upper class boundary. So for the vertical axis, we are going to put values of cumulative frequency. So that will be the scale of 5 intervals for each 2 centimeters. Now that you have finished, you are going now to plot. Now plotting, we plot upper class boundary with cumulative frequency. So 89.5 will correspond with 2, and 99.5 will correspond to 3, and 109.5 will correspond to 14. So we have 2, 3, and 14. Let's first plot those 3 points, 2, 3, and 14. So you come here and plot 2 there on 89.5, then plot 3 on 99.5, then plot 14 on 109.5. The next will be 119.5 will correspond with 29, 129.5 will correspond to 42. So you are going to plot 29 and 42. So you have come and plot 29 on 119.5, then 42 on 129.5. The next we shall plot for 139.5 will correspond to 48, and 149.5 will correspond to 49. So we're going to plot 48 and 49. So you come here and plot 48, then lastly 49. So when you have finished plotting all the points, you have to draw a smooth curve through all these points, but starting from the origin at this point, which is this point. So you shall draw that in that form. The curve has to be as smooth as possible. Now after drawing the curve, they told us that use it to find the median height. Now for you to find the median height, you have to first get the median position. Median position is equal to n over 2. Now capital N is sort of frequency, which is 49 over 2. You will come up with 24.5th position. So what you do, you'll come here and look for 24.5 here, then take a horizontal this side to meet the curve, then take a drop a perpendicular to meet the horizontal and read that value. So when we do that, we shall locate 24.5 and take a horizontal line there, dotted line, then drop a perpendicular to meet the horizontal axis and read off that value. So that value will be your median. So you shall come here and say that from the Ogive, the median height will be got by that. So this formula is to help you get the final median of 116 centimeters. So how do you use it? This 109, what you do, 109 is this whole number here on the axis. Then after that, from this one, from 109.5, you are going to count how many small squares are there. So they are 6.5. So 6.5 is this. Then this one is the scale for one small square. So one small square represents 1 unit. That is why you put here 1. And now as it got, you come here and say 119.5 minus 109.5, which will be equal to 10. But 10, from here to here, there are 10 small squares, so 10 divided by 10 will give you 1, which is that. So basically that's how they can read off the median from the Ogive. And now let's see how much can be awarded for this slide. So B1 will be for plotting for you to draw the axis correctly with a correct scale and well labeled. Then B2 will be for plotting all the points correctly. B1 will be for you to draw a smooth curve through the points. M1 is for you to attempt to find the median, which will be, so these dotted lines, when they are seen, that will be M1. Then A1 is for you to state the median. So basically that's what they wanted in this question. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and be reminded that the next video will be on matrices. So if you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button below this video so that you can receive updates when the next video on matrices has been uploaded. Also, if you know any student who's not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, that you can all benefit as a family.